Every product is serious about helping you shift your energy. All fragrances are clean and safe, free from major toxins no one wants in their home or on their skin. With a 5-star rating and over 100,000 customers, MyEnchantedPath.com is a trusted source for charming items for an enchanted life. Hi, I'm Susan from My Enchanted Path, where I create divinely guided candles, intention oils, soaps, and more that make your spiritual practice simple. No complicated rituals needed. The names may be playful, but every product is serious about helping you shift your energy. All fragrances are clean and safe, free from the major toxins no one wants in their home or on their skin. With a 5-star rating and over 100,000 customers, MyEnchantedPath.com is a place to find charming items for an enchanted life.
Join us for Spirit Fest, coming soon to a city near you. Spirit Fest is a metaphysical, holistic, and crystal expo featuring an amazing array of vendors, speakers, authors, artists, crystals, healers, psychic readers, and more. Spirit Fest is your chance to explore and connect with others of like mind. Get all details, including our upcoming locations up and down the East Coast, also discounted admission, and more at spiritfestusa.com. Our next event is January 10th and 11th with special guests and special presentations, including psychic explorer, medium Mark Anthony, and also historical researcher, explorer, and author Jim Vieira. More details are coming to our website soon, and we look forward to seeing you at Spirit Fest in 2026.
Are you longing for the deepest healing of your soul? The kind that transforms you from the soul outward? At JewishHealer.com, Dr. Doran Shalev offers powerful energy healing rooted in the ancient wisdom of Kabbalah, where he heals the body through the soul and the soul through divine connection. Your transformation begins with a single session. Treat yourself and book yours today at JewishHealer.com. All sessions are 50% off through December.
Florida has a great new option for healthy living. Our natural health expos were a hit last year, so 2026 brings more events around Florida. This special event offers health and wellness opportunities for people and pets. High-quality experts in well-being, healing, anti-aging, and natural living. Plus, you'll find speakers, demonstrations, and much more. All details, lists of locations, and discounted admission can be found at naturalwellnessexpo.com.
Hi, this is the Celtic seer, Barbara McGillicuddy, and you can find me at barbaramcgillicuddy.com or on YouTube at Metaphysical Awakenings with Barbara and Eric. As a medium and animal communicator, it is my joy to speak with people on this side and people who have crossed over to bring forth beautiful messages of love.
What if Sanctuary wasn't just a place, but a way of living? Welcome to the Sanctuary Network, your weekly home for conversations that awaken the heart, heal the body, and inspire the spirit. I'm your host, Mary Ellen Popick, the creator of Spirit Fest and the Natural Wellness Expos. For 2 decades, I've been creating spaces, now creating a bold new broadcast for mind, body, and spirit, where seekers, healers, and teachers come together to share wisdom, laughter, and transformation. We've seen what happens when communities gather. People become enlivened. Now, through the Sanctuary Network, that same spirit is reaching you, wherever you are in the world. Each week, we'll sit down with thought leaders, authors, and everyday visionaries. We'll also shine a light on the grassroots voices of the Sanctuary Marketplace, the healers, vendors, and practitioners who make this movement thrive. This isn't just another show, it's your sanctuary, a space to pause, reflect, and reconnect with what matters most. So, take a deep breath, open your heart, and join me. Together, let's step into the sanctuary. Welcome everyone to the sanctuary for mind, body, and spirit. And we are here today with Spirit Fest favorite, Reverend Dr. Judy Weaver.
Oh,
Thank you so much for being here. I've been so excited about tonight.
Oh, me too.
Let me give everyone a proper introduction for Reverend Dr. Judy Weaver. She is a highly regarded spiritual trance channel medium and doctor of metaphysics. She's also a shamanic practitioner who's been working since the early 1990s. She's the founder of Heart for Souls, Inc., and she coordinates spiritual growth through various modalities and organizes group travel to sacred lands for personal development. Through her trance channeling, she connects with divine entities, including God Source and universal light beings, bringing forth ancient teachings, guidance, healing, and profound individualized energies. And if you have met Judy at Spirit Fest, you will know she is truly someone who walks the walk, talks the talk, and truly embodies spirit in every way. And again, I'm just so excited to have you here. You're just a delight. I love your laugh. So
everybody knows me by my laugh.
Yes. So before we talk about riding on your Firehorse, which I just think is awesome, because this is the year. This is the year we are on it. We are going to take the reins. Literally, we are going to take charge. We are going to make the best changes and really just ride that ascension wave. But let's kind of center and ground ourselves. And if you would like to do a little energetic.
I would.
Okay.
I would. I always like to start with, just really pulling in all of our energies and calling in all of your guides and masters to be able to be here for your highest and best. So please take a moment and just close your eyes. Heavenly Father, Great Spirit, we come before you upon this day, lifting all of your beautiful, precious children. We call upon the archangels. We call upon the masters and teachers, benevolent beings of the highest and purest. Open our hearts, minds, and souls to clarity, to guidance, and to your healing grace. We ask this in your precious name. Amen.
Amen.
Woo! I know everybody felt that.
Yes. So, and if anybody during our program tonight, we're on an hour and a half, if you would like to call in, or if you're shy and don't want to be on the air, you can message us with a question. It can be personal, it can be general. 800-930-2819 would be the way if you'd like to call in and actually ask a question of Judy. So anyway, so where do we start?
We are starting because we are on the Firehorse. So first of all, there's so much energy that's been going on, and the timing of us coming together, I'm just totally thrilled and delighted with, because again, when we're looking in most different cultures, they don't look at January 1st at the beginning of the year. Really, it comes in with that, along with that Chinese New Year, and or they really look at the springtime as the new year, because during the winter time is really that dormancy, it's quiet, it's reflection, and it's introspection. So it's really that time of that planning and looking at different things. And we all know that this last year was all about dealing with all of our hidden everything. There's nothing hiding anymore, right? You thought you were done with it, and guess what? It's been 20 years, it's been 30 years, it's been 40 years, and there it is. You had to deal with it once again, very, very specifically. And we were moving out of the element of wood. So wood, again, is very grounding. And every 12 years, that changes. And so here we were moving from snake energy, which is very transformative, and now we've moved into the Firehorse. And this happened actually on the 17th of February, and we actually had a partial solar eclipse that really was bringing in the energy of that fire as well. So huge, powerful energies. And when you're looking at the element of fire, it's about everything happening fast, and it's about really being intentionalized with what you want to do for your thoughts and the process of being able to handle and manage that. And then when you move your animal from being a snake, which isn't necessarily super aggressive, they're kind of slow, they're kind of, they hang out, they wait for their prey most of the time. And you're on a horse. Well, the horse is going to take you and you're going to go. But one of the things that's all important about the horse is you've got to trust. And that horse has to trust you. So there's a whole different dynamic that's happening. And you have to be so clear about where you're intentionally focused, because if you're riding a horse and you're thinking, don't go jumping over that there log, that horse is going to go jump over that log. So
Yeah.
you really have to be so keen and intentionalized and focused. And now where we are right now, I mean, on the 20th of February, we had a planetary, we had this alignment that's never happened. We've got the parade of planets coming in on the 28th. And what do we got on March 3rd? We've got our full moon with a full lunar eclipse that's happening.
Wow.
So we are just in the midst of this incredible momentive energy that's really helping all of us to see and to sense. And that's a key behind it as well, because your awareness and your sensitivities are just on fire right now. And you're having different experiences. And so you really have to be mindful of that and really decisive about what you're going to be looking at, because it's going to happen whether you want it to or not. So be clear within the thought process.
That's right. The more that we pay attention to something that we don't like, the more that we're outraged, the more that we want to discuss what it is that makes us unhappy, the more that that's going to be what we see. More so than ever, I'm noticing that we're able to manifest good, bad, or indifferent quicker than ever. And this is a little bit of a segue. We're going to come right back to what you were saying, but I am really ready for open contact, disclosure, full disclosure, knowing that extraterrestrial brothers and sisters are living here among us. Their language is telepathy. And I know so I've actually had these conversations in my mind, what it's going to be like when we're around other beings that are telepathic. We're going to have to, we're not used to monitoring our thoughts at all. And it might just be, not even just fear, but judgment, when we first meet somebody or situations, and take that back to how easily we're able to manifest things is we're same thing. If the quicker and quicker that we manifest things, the more that we're going to learn to moderate our thoughts. So that is really important. Saying it and doing it, I think, are two different things, but
well, they are, but that goes with your growth process. And I think that that's one of the things that's so wonderful about Spirit Fest and these other different events that are being hosted is that it's a safe place for people to come together, first of all.
Right.
And then people are in there and you're in a high energy space. And so then you're able to stretch your energies a little bit more to really see what else you are and where that is. And then when you've really been doing this a while, we're automatically already telepathically communicating. We walk up to each other and we can look in each other's eyes and we can see and feel their hearts. We can see and feel each other's hearts, what the intention is, what really is where you are and how true you are. And I think that's the big key. It's not going to be able to lie or tell stories because everybody's going to be able to recognize what the true heart intention is behind it. And that's part of all of this awareness and awakening process that we've been really pushed into since the COVID time, intentionally, so that we don't have to wait for the other guy to tell us what to do. I'm sorry, I'm going to be very bold. Hush now. And listen and follow what you're hearing on your own. It's not about waiting for somebody else to lead. It's stepping up and leading your own life.
Yes. And all of the answers are within us. We're constantly looking outside for other things. And now I think occasionally I do like to visit readers like such as yourself to get an answer, but truthfully, a lot of the times I already have a pretty good idea. I like to come for confirmation, and that then reinforces your intuition when you have somebody else confirm what you think you already knew, and that's another good reason.
And it increases your trust. Yes. And that's the key behind this, because, and it's not that I don't, sometimes I've got a couple of friends that I'll go to or else they'll sit down and just give me information as well. And again, it's not that I'm learning something new. I might be seeing it from a different angle with a different lighting than they do as well. And
Right.
so then it's clarifying it a little bit differently for me, and or it's just again supporting and affirming everything that I know, but it's telling me, yep, you're good, you're on that right line, just keep going with that. But really and truly, our biggest teacher that we will ever have is our connection to our guides and masters,
Yes.
really learning how to tap in and to be able to work with that energy, so that you have that clear direction, and it's not muddled by everything else in the world that
Right.
seems to kind of fly at you.
And I think a lot of us do, but we think it's our own voice or our own thoughts in our head. And then you quickly, once you tap into it, you'll realize really easily. And then for me, it's most apt to come when I'm not thinking about something, or in the car or in the shower or just waking up. That's another good time to really listen to spirit, your higher self, your guides, whatever, whoever it may be.
That's what I tell people too all the time. It's like, well, they're like, it's just my imagination, and or it's just my voice. And it's the best way to be able to tell if you're actually hearing from spirit is, what are you thinking about? If you're
Mhm.
thinking about whatever topic and you're creating a solution with it, well, then that's usually your thought pattern. That's usually your knowledge, your wisdom. But if you actually get this drop in inspiration thought, and or you go to sleep with some type of a situation and you wake up with a solution, well, then
Mhm.
you know that you are
Right.
definitely hearing from spirit. But
Right.
I also challenge people when they talk about, that's my imagination, because what is your imagination? So I asked you, Mary Ellen, what's your imagination?
What's my imagination?
Yeah.
Um, I get such specific information from spirit now. And I'll say I do think it's my higher self or my guides. To me, they all work together. But I will get such specific business information, and I know that didn't just come from anywhere. Just like the answer will just come. But again, it's usually when I wake up. I usually get full downloads when I wake up,
Excellent.
occasionally in the car. And I love how they'll give me information about everybody else. But when it comes to wanting to know about me, what should I do? Where should I go? What's really going on with whatever? And nothing. So yeah, thanks. Um,
Well, but again, I'm going to go back to the imagination for just a quick minute, because a lot of people disregard that. And I want to remind everybody that your imagination is unique to you. It is you receiving information from somewhere, and you're the only one who's processing that information.
Mhm,
And no two people are even able to see the same colors,
mhm,
right? So it really is unique to you. So don't discard all of your imagination. Use it as a tool. It's
mhm,
an informational resource for you to be able to create with and to expand with, and to really, focus yourself into that space. A lot of people get so concerned, well, I don't see, I don't see, I don't see, right? They want to be able to see the ghosts. Well, not everybody can see the physical ghosts. And even people who see physical ghosts don't see them all the time. I don't see them all
mhm,
the time.
mhm,
I will feel them. And then I will receive information about them, which then allows for my imagination, the images and the information, to create a pictorial for me to be able to connect with more clearly for
mhm,
that relaying of information.
mhm. And that imagination is also what we use to create what it is that we're manifesting. So if sky's the limit and you could create everything, one of the examples that I like to use, which is kind of funny now, there's a subdivision in Disney World on Disney property, and it's called Golden Oak, and it's very bougie. And I think the first house has started at 1.6 or 7 million, and now they're minimum of 4 million, I think, over there.
Oh,
And
wow.
you can get service if you go buy a gift at one of the gift shops at Magic Kingdom, they'll deliver it to your house, and you get all kinds of wonderful things. And we should all want to live in Golden Oak. So several years ago, when I was in my townhouse and I was thinking about where it was that I wanted to live, and I thought, well, I want this or that. And I thought, well, heck, if sky's the limit, I want to live in Golden Oak. Okay. I don't know how I'm going to get there. I don't even care but that is where I want to live. So fast forward, I now live a mile and a half up the road from where I used to live. But even though I'm only that close, my zip code changed. And so if I go across the street, it would be my old zip code, and I'm in this little pocket of this weird zip code. So when I first moved here, which was only 2.5 months ago, I was typing, whenever you move, you change your address with all these different things, and then it'll auto give you suggestions of where you are, what city you're in, and Golden Oak popped up, and I thought, where have I heard that before? Well, I'm literally in the same zip code as Golden Oak, this tiny little pocket that's on Magic Kingdom, but they needed a little bit wider swath, so they picked up some of the residential area about that. So do I live in Golden Oak? The post office.
Yes.
So
That's
what I mean.
And that is exactly what I'm saying. Where I'm at now in my world is I never could have dreamed that I'd be doing what I'm doing now. But I am living my dream, and I am limited by what I can actually imagine it to be. Yeah. That's the reality. Yeah. I'm creating these incredible trips. I'm touring the world. I'm doing events. Yeah. I'm meeting people. I'm on stages. This is wild. Yeah. This is fabulous. This is what I always knew it could be. But did I really think it would be? And it's like my heart said, yes, you are. And that's what's really happening. So you're living in Golden Oak, and I'm living out of suitcases. I'll tell you that right now.
But you're going to the most fabulous places. I mean, literal chakra centers of the world, right? You're going to Peru.
Yep. I'll be going back. I'm taking people back to Peru in October. And this one is such a cool one because we're going into these temples, and it's a ancient temple tour. And so we're going to these different sacred sites that are there. One of the temples is up in the top of Chiriutiti. So this is a small village that's, 12,000 feet high up above Pisac. And the actual community itself is letting us go into their temple that dates back to the 1600s. Wow. No people ever go in there, and they're allowing me to be able to go in with my group because of my contact and because I've been going for so many years. And I'm actually going to build them a roof that's going to preserve the temple. Wow. So I'm so excited about that. But it's amazing. I mean, I'm going to Greece and Turkey in just a couple of weeks on the Mediterranean cruise, and I'm going to be going to the real Delphi. And I know these profound energies are taking place. And Mary Ellen, I just booked this last week, going to Nepal in 27.
Oh that's amazing. So two things come to my mind. First of all, going back to the imagination. What my takeaway from the story was wow, that is really powerful. But it also teaches me a better fine tune. I think it's going to be very restrictive living there, truthfully, and then, so I'm very happy where I am. I've got a wonderful house. I can see the Magic Kingdom fireworks from my bedroom window. But that was the lesson. If I'm going to, I better be very, very, very specific.
But the other thing is you don't have the financial obligation, and you have to manage with them, and so it gives you a whole lot more freedom, and it allows you to be where your heart wants to be.
Little side note, I looked it up now because I thought, well, if I'm getting this close, maybe I should actually seriously take a look at this. Between the HOA and then if you want to go to the hotel, which I think is the Four Seasons over there, if you want to belong to that and have that type of membership. And then if you want to have that concierge service, they'll deliver your stuff. It's like $60,000+ a year, just on top of your mortgage or, your whatever else you've got going on. So maybe one day, maybe not. We'll see.
That is a major Disney fan.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. That's why I feel like I have the best of both worlds, honestly.
You really do. You really do. You can see the fireworks every night out your window.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Isn't that wonderful though? Because is that not just a perfect reminder every single day of the unlimited potential that you have and the impact that you're making in the world? Yeah. Every single day. Yeah. And it's not to last a lifetime. It's to create that momentum and that movement forward for that highest resonance of everybody. And that's what this Firehorse is all about.
Yes.
Really digging into what do you want? But you've got to cast your I don't know, take your fishing pole and you've got to cast it way out there. Specifically, what do you want?
Right.
But don't put any limits of how it's going to come to be either, because people get all hokey about, well, it's going to be like this, or it has to be like this, and it doesn't.
Right.
You know, if you want abundance and you want love in your life, awesome, wonderful. Let's start with loving yourself so that you can receive all the abundance that will just be bestowed upon you because you are that loving resonance.
Yes.
And that will include other relationships along the way.
And that was the other thing that I wanted to say when you were talking about how when you first had the vision of what you wanted to do, that you wanted to go to these places, you wanted to take people, you wanted to be able to connect, you wanted to be able to help people connect with spirit. You followed your joy, and then everything just fell into place, and then it just gets bigger and better and brighter every year for you. And that's just the magic. That's all you got to do. Just follow your joy, even if it's something small. Don't worry about how you're going to get from A to B or A to Z.
Yep. Yeah, and don't worry about if other people do it differently. They're supposed to. You're supposed to do it your way. I mean, that's the part that's one of the things that's kind of confusing about the world of spirituality, because as humans, we're really taught, I mean, most of us, we're taught, okay, A, B, C equals D, E, F, and you need to do it in a step program. But when you're really in spirituality, it's never the same for anybody.
Right.
There are aspects that are similar, but it's never the same. And you have unique facets of you and to you and with you that are specifically designed for you. Right. And that's why it makes it hard for individuals to understand necessarily what you are doing and what you're seeing. You're seeing something that's different from somebody else, or feeling it differently, or hearing it differently. And so it's about resting in the fact that, yes, I am different. I am unique, but there's similar facets, and there's other people who can help me understand what to do with it and how to work with it to grow it so that I know how to when I want to.
Yeah. And that's also reason we need to be very careful about falling into that social media trap or the mainstream media trap of looking and thinking this is what things need to look like. And the more that we stay connected to spirit and staying above that, the less that we feel like that we do have to kind of fit into that script, so to speak. But when we see how people are doing things online, because a lot of it is a facade anyway, a lot of it isn't even real. They're doing it for clicks or likes, or they're making it look differently. But what you just be yourself, be authentic, regardless of your age, regardless of what it is that you're doing, just be your true authentic self. And I think this year is the year to do it. Yeah.
Feel it. That's the key behind everything too. Everything, our spidey senses are definitely much more alert now, right? That's the other thing that really has come into play. And we have to be that much more discerning for everything.
Yeah.
Absolutely everything.
Right.
It's hilarious which all of that is what? Helping us to grow our telepathic capacity. Is it?
Yes. Yes. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
This is training. We are in the trenches of serious training right now within this discernment, within working with our spidey senses so that we really can be able to identify what is true, but always asking and feeling into the answer as well. Because what's true for you is not necessarily going to be true for anybody else.
Yes.
So it's so important to pay attention. And you may not get the answer right away, and it's okay to ask more than once and allow yourself to really be in that space of, okay, maybe here, maybe there. Okay. Yep. No. Okay. Now I'm good. You asked 3 times and they answered you 4. You're good.
Yeah. We're going to take a couple minutes we've got here before we go to break. How can people find out more about you?
Oh, they can come and visit me at judyweaver.com, and that's with an I, Judi Weaver.com. And I have a fabulous heartbeat community. I'm so excited about that. And because so many people kept saying it all the festivals. I can never find you. I don't have in my own community. It's like, yes, you do. We're online, which is the same thing you're doing, Mary Ellen.
Uh-huh.
Build in the community. I have all kinds of monthly events that I host, and it's just
Okay.
a great place for people to connect and to travel together. All my travelers are on there too.
One day I'm going to get there. And so you'll be at most of the Spirit Fest this year, including
Yep.
the one coming up in just a week and a half now in the Villages. But for a list of all of the shows, spiritfestusa.com, and you'll see right on the front is a list of all of the shows. So when we come back, if anybody would like to call in, leave a message, and maybe get a little reading from Spirit with Judy. 800, where's my number? 930-2819. We're going to break right now, and we'll see everybody in a few minutes.
Experience the healing magic of the Himalayas. Tibetan singing bowl classes and sessions are available at Kopali Inputs, which is located at downtown St. Petersburg, Florida.
Are you longing for the deepest healing of your soul? The kind that transforms you from the soul outward? At JewishHealer.com, Dr. Doran Shalev offers powerful energy healing rooted in the ancient wisdom of Kabbalah, where he heals the body through the soul and the soul through divine connection. Your transformation begins with a single session. Treat yourself and book yours today at JewishHealer.com. All sessions are 50% off through December.
Florida has a great new option for healthy living. Our Natural Health Expos were a hit last year, so 2026 brings more events around Florida. This special event offers health and wellness opportunities for people and pets. High-quality experts in well-being, healing, anti-aging, and natural living. Plus, you'll find speakers, demonstrations, and much more. All details, list of locations, and discounted admission can be found at naturalwellnessexpo.com. Join us for Spirit Fest, coming soon to a city near you. Spirit Fest is a metaphysical, holistic, and crystal expo featuring an amazing array of vendors, speakers, authors, artists, crystals, healers, psychic readers, and more. Spirit Fest is your chance to explore and connect with others of like mind. Get all details, including our upcoming locations up and down the East Coast, also discounted admission, and more at spiritfestusa.com. Our next event is January 10th and 11th with special guests and special presentations, including psychic explorer, medium Mark Anthony, and also historical researcher, explorer, and author Jim Vieira. More details are coming to our website soon, and we look forward to seeing you at Spirit Fest in 2026.
Welcome back, everyone. We're having a delightful time with Reverend Dr. Judy Weaver, spiritual trance-channel medium, doctor of metaphysics, and shamanic practitioner, fan favorite at Spirit Fest. If you've ever been to Spirit Fest, I guarantee you've heard Judy's wonderful laughter throughout the whole room. She just lights everything up with her presence. So we're having a really spirited conversation here, talking about the year of the Firehorse that we just started, how we can manifest things now easier than ever before, being so specific about what it is that we're manifesting. And if anyone would like to get a message from Spirit or has a question, feel free to call. You can also message on the Transformation Network page, but the phone number to call in is 800-930-2819. So we were talking about, you can channel many different entities or even collectives. Could you tell us a little bit more about that?
Sure. So when I first started trance-channeling, it was back in 2013. And again, it's not something that you expect to do, you know. Um, it's not that I hadn't seen trance-channeling. It was not something that I had been trained for, and I didn't know I was going to do it. But I had done some incredible healing work, and then that was the byproduct of it, is how that worked out. And so at first I started trance-channeling, you know, God Source and the angels and Chief White Eagle. He was definitely a Native American guide who came in and gave me a lot of guidance. And then Jesus came through. That was pretty wild. That was after about 2 years. That really was a big personal shift in my energy to be able to handle and manage. And that's the other thing that's important to know. When you start moving into channeling and really into this energy work, you need to realize that your physical body isn't just a solid resonance. It really is this organic, moving, energetic resonance that constantly is morphing through the process, because you actually go through a physical change where the energy shifts are coming in and they're altering the vibration, the tone, the frequency of you. So after 2017, I had gone out to Mount Shasta, had another credible experience, met Lemurians there, and I went into the city of Telos, and they changed out my chakra crystals. And after that, I really could pretty much trans-channel anybody. And then I was called back in 24. And when I went in 24, Jamar upgraded me again and said, okay, now you don't have to close your eyes while you're trance. So, and really the councils started coming in more so after 24, or the different collectives. It's not that I hadn't done them, but now they seem to be more easy to come in, because again, I'm constantly changing the vibration and the tones and the frequencies to be able to handle and to manage that. But you always work with a gatekeeper as well. And everyone, I believe, has a gatekeeper. They just primarily remain dormant until the soul is actually progressed into that space of really working with that energy and the frequency. And the role of your gatekeeper is to manage and to monitor my energy and to be able to hold and sustain it, and to be able to I asked them to kind of keep it one at a time, because when it's a whole lot of them coming in at once, it's a lot, and you can end up with headaches, and you can end up with all kinds of, you know, pressures and ringing in your ears, or sometimes people will have issues with their sight, you know, that transpires and things like that. So you really have to manage and maintain the energy that's coming in and working with you as well.
Sure, sure.
I go up and I kind of like hang out on the side is what I do. So I kind of go up, I hang out with my gatekeeper, and then he just lets everybody come in and out. And I have some memory about what is spoken, but not a lot, because they tell me, frankly, it's none of my business. So there you go.
Right. So do you remember after you channel what you said?
Most of the time, not.
Wow.
If it's something the person needs to know, then they will give it to me almost like a cliff note, and say, okay, don't forget, they need to do A, B, C, and D. I reminded them about this. I might have more of a memory about what has happened with my physical body during the process, because some of the different transmissions that come in, you know, I'm in a different position. Like I just did this really super cool series that was Masters in Training, and I trans-channeled all the different planets, the galactic systems.
Wow.
That was so cool to trans-channel the planets along with the different masters and teachers and benevolent beings. And it was just such a different experience. But talk about changing vibrations and frequencies when you're doing Earth, you're doing Saturn, or you're doing the sun and the moon had this fabulous, lovely luminescent resonance that came in and connected. So yeah, just that's just wild. I know it sounds wild, but that's my life. It's wild.
We had a question come in from Jen in Oakland, and thank you, Jen, for listening. This is a great question. How do I let go of an outcome I really want when it also affects other people around me? I feel like I'm manifesting for myself, but also for 5 other people, and it feels like a lot of weight and responsibility. So 2 questions: why do you feel like you need to let go? And then we can get into the dynamics. If you want something, how does that affect the other people?
Okay. So first of all, when you really want an outcome, and I'm going to go ahead and take a moment to just talk about motherhood as well, because obviously she's a mom, and sometimes people get really frustrated with the patience of going through the process of when they can actually move into their full spirituality. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I need to tell you that motherhood is one of the best trainings you will ever have when you're on that path of really going to be a powerful light worker.
Mm-hmm.
And the more children that you have, the more skilled you actually are becoming.
Mm-hmm.
Because first of all, your children, you need to learn that intuitiveness. You need to understand, wow, that child is crying. What else is going on? If somebody's bullying your child, they're going to give you different reactions than the words that you anticipate. And let me tell you, by the time you hit those teenage years with those kids, you better know what they really are doing, or else you're going to be in big trouble. So, and the other thing that happens with that is you get to learn about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Your children are a direct reflection of you and what you need to heal in yourself to be able to grow into a better you for self.
Mm-hmm.
So your children are fantastic. I'm going to say they're training wheels. They are your training wheels of how you're going to truly move into that masterhood of self so that you can grow into that aspect of self.
Mm-hmm.
So as you are moving through that spiritual development, recognize and realize that your children are part of that training process. So don't feel like you're wasting time. You're actually on a faster trajectory because you have so many children. And remember, whenever light workers are out there learning their life lessons, they're going to have harder lives than anybody else because you need to learn more faster in order to be able to do that.
Right.
So that I think is part of it. But when you're really looking at what do I want for the outcome, that's the key. What is it specifically that you do want? And when you have an entire family that is alongside of you, that's okay too. Because when you're working towards your goals and dreams, what are you teaching your family? That they can aspire towards their goals and dreams.
Right.
But it also is important to set boundaries, right? Because when you're setting boundaries and allowing people to become responsible for their own actions, inactions, or reactions,
right,
that is their teaching tools. That's how they get to really learn and know about themselves. So it's all of that coming into play. And the other thing is, when you're really aspiring towards that life goal and you have other children, you don't know what other people may come into play in your life to support you with those family members so that you can go forward with that life goal as well.
So really, she doesn't need to let go of the outcome. She doesn't need to give up. Maybe letting go of the insistence of exactly how it's going to look. So putting it out there that this is what you want and then not thinking about it. And I like to give the analogy when you go to a restaurant and you put in your order with the waiter. When the waiter leaves, you don't sit at the table and then start thinking about who's chopping what and, what's going into your food. You're just going to talk and enjoy your wine and have fun. And then, you're going to expect your food to come out and be delightful. So putting that out there, this is what I want. And then, keeping your finger on the pulse a little bit, but, letting go of the insistence of this is how it's going to happen and this is exactly how it's going to look. Maybe that would be a little easier. But I feel like when I remember there was Abraham used to talk about, what if you want good weather, but your neighbor wants rain for their crops? How can you both be happy? But that's not something that we need to worry about either. The universe can provide everybody with what they want. So not worrying about the 5 people that you're trying to manifest for, just focusing on what you want. Do you think that that's fair to say?
I think all of that is fair to say. And the other thing is, again, it's about the timeline. That's what I keep hearing. Okay, that's what I'm feeling into, Jen, is that there's a seriousness about the timeline of when this is really going to unfold. And it's okay that it's not happening as fast. The way that you always need to remember, your spirit guide and your guardian angel, they chose you and you chose them for the same soul goal purpose. So you're never off track, but you're never alone. They're going to do the things that get you back on track. But sometimes you need these other side trips because there's other things that you need in your foundation that's going to support you in the long run. So it's so important to know that. And also about being clear with every single person, teaching each that they all are responsible for themselves as well. That is such a key. And that's something that I'm constantly reminding myself and everybody else around me as well who come to me. Women especially get so caught up in having to do for everybody else, they forget that they can do for themselves. But if they're so busy doing for everybody else, there may not be a self there to do for anybody.
Yes. Yep. That is true. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Yeah.
We've got about 15 minutes. Is that enough time to channel to bring in the galactic?
Sure it is. Sure it is. You're just going to have to, because I don't do well with the time. Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, let's do that then. Let's let Judy channel, and then we'll just see what comes through.
Fabulous. Wonderful. So here we go. Bayla here. Hello, everybody. So first of all, I am her gatekeeper, and I thought it was appropriate to be able to bring in that energy and to remind each of you that you all have a gatekeeper. And again, these are your guides that are there to support you. But it's important to get to know who your spiritual team is. How many of you want to know them and to be able to spend time with them? Well, that means that you've got to actually take some time to spend some time getting to know who they are. And that means you need to feel into each of their different energies so that you can identify what is that vibrational quality difference between one and the other. Sometimes they feel male, sometimes they feel female. Sometimes it's a slower vibration, and sometimes it's a high-pitched, fast level of a frequency. It's important to know that you can work with all kinds of angels and guides, but you have to ask them. You have to invite them into your lives to be a part of the day-to-day. If you want to know something specific and perhaps maybe communicate with your supervisor about a sensitive subject, well, you might want to call in Archangel Gabriel because he's the communicator angel. If you're feeling, maybe you're just feeling exhausted, right? You're just so tired and you're so run down. Well, you know what? Maybe then you need like Archangel Ariel to come in and to just fill you with that creative energy. Or maybe you need Mother Mary to come in and just give you a great big hug of love. And so it's important to think about what it is that you need and to invite in all of these different beautiful energies. And you can even invite in your higher self. You, Mary Ellen, just went ahead and talked about that. And one of the things that the one before you did in her last class is that she made everybody or asked everybody to create an image of their higher self. What a great idea, right? You go and create that higher self, then you have a wonderful visualization for you to be able to pay attention to and to have in that image of self so that you can connect more clearly. And maybe you name your higher self. Maybe your higher self already has a name. You just ask them what it is that they want to be called. And that's the same with your other guides and angels. Ask them what they want to be called, because That's something that you can connect with them. Now, I want to go ahead and bring in a couple of different energies because it's important for you to be able to feel some of the different energies. So first, I'm going to bring in Archangel Michael. Now, I think many of you will recognize him, and that's one of the reasons that he likes to come to a lot of different activities, is because people really do recognize that resonance and that frequency vibration. So one moment, please. Archangel Michael here. Good day to each of you.
Good day.
I think that most of you could feel that energy shift, could you not?
Yes.
Yes. I am known as an archangel and as a warrior or a protector. I generally hold a shield to be that protector, but I also hold a sword of light, and the sword of light can cut through anything to free you from old bound thoughts or hurts and or different challenges in your life. But that sword also is very specific, and that is it wields through to slice for the truth to be seen by all. No falsehoods. When you want to know the truth of any situation, call upon me, and I will come forth and I will open that doorway for you truly to see. Now, it does not mean that your mind may not get in the way along with your ego and want to do what it so desires to, but you will know the truth within that resonance of soul. But sometimes the heart still wants what the heart wants, and the lessons need to be taught for you to grow through, to step into a betterment of you. But this is a divine time for each of you to step out with a greater resonance of courage, to step into that light of you, for you to discover all aspects of self, to truly move forward and to take those steps of you becoming that heart resonance that you are divinely opening and stepping into to become and to see. Well, I also have the Galactic Council of Light wants to come in to be able to provide that resonance of vibration as well. Because I think that most of you are recognizing that there are a lot more visitors that are coming into the planet. And just to be clear, the angels are very aware of their existence. And we work alongside of all of these different resonances as well. These different cultures are a part of your culture. Something different that not all of you are aware of, but you are a part of more than you can possibly be. And you are so very loved for exactly who and what you are for this day and every day. Many blessings to each of you. Many blessings.
Thank you.
Galactic Council of Light here.
Welcome.
Good day.
Good day.
Good day to each of you. I am part of what you would call a gathering of 12. We come from many different galaxies or star systems. There's an incorporation of many, but we speak under a unified thought process as we are able to, as what you were speaking earlier, telepathically all be within the same resonance of that communicative level that is always for and alongside the betterment of mankind and humanity. I want to be very clear that we are so excited to see the changes that are taking place upon your planet at this time. the visitation of Three-Eye Atlas. And that was the third, but I will also say there will be 12 that will go through within the next 2 years timeline through 27. Each one of these different resources, as what I will call them, because they are crystallized resonance that's holding frequency of energy that is helping to activate and awaken within a succinct patterning of that process of your human resonance. And this is done so in a peaceful way. This is done so for you to be able to step into a higher awareness, a greater connection, and a truth within you, within that knowingness, for the betterment of all. We are visiting more so during what you would call your travel times or your dream times. Many are having the visitations as well as the physical connections that are taking place. And or you're finding yourself in altered states of consciousness, even perhaps during the day, where you may space out, but it is a time of connecting. Some of you may find yourself needing to lay down during the day in order to have a secondary connection to be able to process the energies, to integrate that wisdom tree, and to receive those downloads, and or to help balance the continuity of the others that are across the planet that are in a higher state of need as well during that time. This is a beautiful time for mankind, and we are so elated for the growth that is taking place within each of you and the excitement that is coming from you. I must also state that we are in awe of your courage, your tenacity, your passion, and the presence of you. Your emotional depth is a beautiful unfolding to watch, and such an inspiration for all of us to be able to just be in awe at all that you are accomplishing each and every day. You are truly the lights, and the energies that are coming from your experiences and the teachings that you are sharing within each of those experiences is traveling far beyond what you could ever possibly know and imagine. You are moving within these realms of consciousness through and into the capacity and capability of recognition, of sometimes seeing and sensing and feeling different elements than what you had known before, which is what is definitely moving forward into now what you would call your year of the Firehorse. Things are moving at a faster perpetual growth and truly at a higher resonance of receptivity for each of you to be able to access and to bring into your heart's desires and dreams. Now I can see they're saying the little note. I see the little note that is coming down there. We'll be going to break in just a moment, so I must hurry and wrap up my thoughts. But what I want to truly say to all of you is that this is an exceptional time. The world is truly waiting for you to step into the majesty of this energy frequency and the desires of your heart. But it still can always come from that space of love and joy within you. And you will always be the best at it because it comes from that pure resonance of grace and love. So we are here to be with you and alongside of you, supporting all of you. And you are those divine beings that we are delighted to be spending time with and alongside of. Many blessings, dear precious ones. Many blessings to each of thee.
Thank you.
I have Mother Mary really quick. Mother Mary, I envelop you within the arms of love to know that you are held in this space of peace and grace. There is no judgment, only a wholeness and a hope for you to see and to feel and to truly step into the majesty and the bliss of you. Many blessings, my dear precious, precious ones. Many blessings to you.
Thank you.
I'm going to bring myself back.
Thank you.
That was good. It's all tickly.
On that note, we're just about ready to go to break. So give Judy a few minutes and we'll be back and we'll have more conversation. And if anybody else would like a message, 800-930-2819. Thank you.
Hi, this is the Celtic seer, Barbara McGillicuddy, and you can find me at barbramcgillicuddy.com or on YouTube at Metaphysical Awakenings with Barbara and Eric. As a medium and animal communicator, it is my joy to speak with people on this side and people who have crossed over to bring forth beautiful messages of love.
Hi, I'm Susan from My Enchanted Path, where I create divinely guided candles, intention oils, soaps, and more that make spiritual practice simple, no complicated rituals. The names may be playful, but every product is serious about helping you shift your energy. All fragrances are clean and safe, free from major toxins no one wants in their home or on their skin. With a 5-star rating and over 100,000 customers, MyEnchantedPath.com is a trusted source for charming items for an enchanted life.
Experience the healing magic of the Himalayas. Tibetan singing bowl classes and sessions are available at Kopali Inputs, which is located at downtown St. Petersburg, Florida.
Are you longing for the deepest healing of your soul? The kind that transforms you from the soul outward? At JewishHealer.com, Dr. Doran Shalev offers powerful energy healing rooted in the ancient wisdom of Kabbalah, where he heals the body through the soul and the soul through divine connection. Your transformation begins with a single session. Treat yourself and book yours today at JewishHealer.com. All sessions are 50% off through December.
Florida has a great new option for healthy living. Our Natural Health Expos were a hit last year, so 2026 brings more events around Florida. This special event offers health and wellness opportunities for people and pets. High-quality experts in well-being, healing, anti-aging, and natural living. Plus, you'll find speakers, demonstrations, and much more. All details, lists of locations, and discounted admission can be found at naturalwellnessexpo.com. Welcome back, everyone. We are having a fantastic conversation with Reverend Dr. Judy Weaver, spiritual trance-channel medium, doctor of metaphysics, and shamanic practitioner. And we were talking about riding on your Firehorse this year. As we know, we just came into the year of the Firehorse. And rather than just sort of letting it guide us, we're just going to hop on, grab the reins, and create anything we want this year. This is a 1 year. In numerology, that's the year of creation, of manifesting. It's the year of not focusing on anything we don't want, because anything that we do want, we're just going to see more of it, and we're going to see it faster than ever before as well. But with regard to creating our future, think big, dream high, and that basically anything we want, this is the year more so than ever. This is truly ascension. And this was fated, this was predicted as long ago as Jesus's birth by the Magi. And all of this was done through astrology. That this was a cycle that the planet is going through. The planet is going through an ascension. The humans on the planet are going through an ascension. And this was all, it's all been prophesied. And this is exactly what we're in the middle of. And this is one of the few times in recorded history, anyway, that we are awake and alive and knowing what's occurring, so that we can actually grab the reins, so this really is a special time. I believe that we stood in line to get here at this time, to incarnate on the planet right now. That we wanted to be here, part of that. We wanted to be able to be, part of the wave and make a difference. Those of us who are light workers, to be able to help in any way that we can, doing our own work. And then also, and that's why I do Spirit Fest, is to make that platform, so that people like you can come and do all of your, all of the, share the gifts that you have, and then create community for people when the attendees come, and, be able to experience that high energy. It's not that often that you get to experience really high collective group energy like that we have at Spirit Fest. And once you feel that, then you always know, what that feels like, and then it'll be easier for you to share it. It'll be easier for you to emulate it in the future as well. So,
and that's really important.
oh, no, I can't hear you.
Why not?
Is that just me, Jessica? I can't hear. Yeah,
Lose my audio.
yeah, we can't hear you.
You lost.
Yeah,
Try again. I don't know.
we can hear you a little, but it's not loud like it was.
I don't know what happened.
Okay.
I'll talk louder. I don't
Okay.
know. I'm
All
on
right.
my laptop. I'm afraid I'm mobile, so I apologize. Remember,
No,
I'm in the suitcase world.
you're
Okay.
back now. You're back now.
Oh, I
Back.
don't know
Thank
what
you for
happened.
coming back into the dimension that we were previously in. That's what happened.
Saying that doesn't happen either.
Yeah.
And that's really funny, because that's exactly where I was going. I was when we go to Spirit Fest and when we go to these different events, it's so important to be around other high energy people. And that's why you go to get readings as well, is because you want to be able to tap into the information. And one of the things that's so important is that you have an opportunity to be able to hop onto that energetic frequency line of whoever
Mhm.
you're talking with, right?
Mhm.
All
Mhm.
those other leaders, all of those other teachers. And that's part of you learning how to work with that energy. You just hop on the elevator. They know the direction of where to go. You're
Mhm.
hopping onto that same frequency, so then you can learn what it is to do, which is exactly what happens when I was doing the trance channeling, right? It's to bring in that frequency and that vibration so that you have an opportunity to tap into it, to get to know what it is, so then you can go find it when you want to on
Mhm.
your own.
Mhm.
But
Yes.
I love the festival events. I mean,
Mhm.
it's another family.
Yeah.
It's a family where
Mhm.
we all belong.
Yeah. Yeah. And we learn things every show, from other people, from the other vendors, from the attendees, from questions and situations and circumstances, and you just don't ever know what you're going to get. And it's just really exciting. But we learned with during the pandemic how easy it was to be able to connect online, which is great. It's a wonderful gift to be able to do that, but nothing takes the place of being together in person. And Spirit Fest isn't just a place to come and shop. It really, you can talk to people, even if you don't buy anything, but you can learn things, you'll observe things, you'll watch demonstrations, and then there's speakers all day, every day. This really isn't a commercial. It's just what people say is their favorite part. But again, then they just like to be there.
So it definitely is a high vibe weekend. So anyway, but I'm glad that you're going to be with us at a lot of the shows because you really do add a bright light, bright
Well,
light
thank
there.
you. I appreciate that. Yes.
So
No, I absolutely love them. And I've been doing Spirit Fest for, I don't know, maybe like 6 years now, I guess, is I've been
yeah,
running around. Yeah,
yeah,
it's been quite. And by the way, I'm the pink tent. So just so that you
yes,
know, I'm the pink tent.
yep, yep. Or follow the laughter. That's the that's the other thing. So have you, when you have been doing your channelings this year, have you gotten any predictions or anything that you could share?
Quite a few different predictions that have come into play. I know, obviously there's all kinds of channels that are really talking about the disclosure that it's coming in. And so I'm going to reiterate that because they definitely are talking about that. The Three Eye Atlas, that was a lot of information about that. I
Mhm,
definitely tranced into the energy. It's actually its own consciousness is what it is. And it's all uploaded within the specific um, object is what I'm going to call it. And the thing that was so cool about it was the reason why it actually went behind the sun is how do we actually receive all of our codes as we get them from the solar flares. So that it
mhm,
specifically went behind the sun in order to charge the sun so
mhm,
that more of that energy would specifically come in. And again,
mhm,
it was coming in a blue light ray. And we even had like green solar flares that were coming through, all kinds of wonderful things. And
mhm,
that will
mhm,
actually be the closest to Jupiter on the 16th of March, which is actually just right before that I'm going to Greece and Turkey.
wow.
And so again, huge time, powerful shifts that are coming into play. And again, they were really kind of talking about some of the earth things that are happening. One of the things that's really changing and that everybody needs to realize is that the earth itself is actually expanding right now. That's
Mhm,
what really is taking place. And so that's part of the tectonic shifts. That's part of the volcanic activity. We've got massive new crystals that are really emerging from the center of the earth and being brought online. And definitely activating within all of the different waterways as well. So it's super
mhm,
important to be able to pay attention to what's going on with the waters. By this time, fall this time, there's going to be another huge political shift that's going to come into play.
mhm,
And this year is really a time of moving things forward into action and more truth being seen. So this
mhm,
is, and there's nothing wrong with that. When you know what you know, then you can know what to do with it. But first,
yeah.
you really need to be able to understand and learn what is real. But
Mhm,
that comes from each of us really stepping into that discernment much more clearly and learning to trust within yourself what you are receiving for information and
mhm,
double check it.
mhm,
Double check it with your body. How does it feel? Your body is your most incredible barometer.
mhm,
Ask it and let it tell you what exactly is going to be going on. But the other thing that they had mentioned is that there's going to be several more of those different objects are going to come through our actually galaxy through 27. Where
mhm,
there will actually be a number, there'll be 12 that will go through. That's what they're telling me. So that's what I'm telling you guys.
mhm. Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, yeah. Big shift is going to take place in Russia and China as well. But
Wow.
this isn't anything that
Right.
anybody doesn't already know. And it's not a doomsday situation. It is
Right.
just, again, that realization. And it's the truth really coming out and being revealed.
Mhm.
So that's where we are. Yeah.
Right. And it seems scary. There's a saying, no one likes change but a wet baby. And so a lot of people feel uncomfortable with change, especially if it makes them feel like it's not in their control. And we just need to ride with it and trust. Just trust that the universe has our back. Our guides will let us know if there's anything that we should need to do or take action or do anything. And other than that, just stay above it, not succumb to fear. Just, and then I do like to keep my eye on the news because especially with Spirit Fest, I feel like I need to go know what's going on in the world with the economy, just what people's feelings are about things. And but still not to react and not to just really anchor yourself in 3D, just to stay above it all.
Yeah.
You know.
And again, the extreme weather patterns are going to continue, and they're going to get a bit more volatile.
Hmm.
And so one of the things that I definitely I'm telling people is ask your guides. A lot of people feel like they have to move for particular things. Pay
Hmm.
attention to what you're feeling. Really and
Hmm.
truly pay attention to what you're feeling,
Hmm.
because there are changes that are going to take place. Monetarily, absolutely, we're going to be seeing some shifts, but that's about you building your resources and around you. You
Hmm.
know who your neighbors are,
Hmm.
know where you can get things, plan, know, be within that 3-5 mile radius of
Hmm.
yourself,
Hmm.
and really become a bit more self-sufficient. Um, Learn how to do some things for yourself. This is
Hmm.
this is the key behind this. This isn't about somebody else taking care of you anymore. This
Hmm.
is you really learning how to step into and manage your own lives,
Hmm.
all
Hmm.
aspects of it.
Yeah.
Don't give that control away.
I,
Allow
things
yourself to
like
have that.
being prepared, with the solar flares and things like that, I think that if we were prepared to be with a few days without power or things like that, if
Absolutely.
the grid would go down, that's not reacting to fear or, causing us panic. It just, to me, it's common sense. Have some cash on hand in case the ATMs aren't working. Doesn't mean the financial markets are all going to fail. It just means you might not be able to get to an ATM for a couple days.
When the
Having
solar
enough food in
flares
case you can't
happen,
cook. Yeah. Hmm.
but when
Yeah.
the solar flares happen, sometimes our computers go down. That's
Yeah.
just real. We
Right.
can't know. Again, when they're overworked, these are
Hmm.
not new grids that we have set up that are
Right.
holding all of our electronics. So, yeah,
Right.
having a couple, even up to a week. Well, we live in Florida, hurricane stuff. You're up north, you
Hmm.
got the snowstorms. You know,
Yeah.
just plan for a week or
Yeah.
so.
I was never so glad. See, my mom was Mormon, and they want you to have a 2 year supply of food, or
Oh,
even not just food, that you would be self-sustaining for 2 years. We had food hidden under the couch and everywhere. It was, and again, that's what they want to do, and that's fine. But I had like to keep like a week's supply of, food crackers or whatever, but during the pandemic, because the first week of the pandemic wasn't so bad, but that's when then the supply chain started to get disrupted. And I remember going to the store 2 days in a row at 8 o'clock in the morning looking for saltines because that was one of the first things that people bought out of the store was crackers. And we wanted chili and we had to have saltines to go with the chili. So, and I was really glad that I had that. Even water, people say, oh, I've lived here 20 years and I've never needed water during a hurricane, but it wasn't that long ago that some construction workers accidentally busted a pipe. Believe it was in Kissimmee, and they didn't have any water for a couple of days. And you want to have water not only for you to drink, but for your pets too. So it's just not a bad idea. It's not succumbing to fear or anything like that. A little bit of preparation. And then I was told not that long, maybe 6, 7 years ago, that yes, the summers are going to get hotter, but the winters are going to get colder. And I thought about it and I thought, yeah, that really does kind of make sense. And look at what just happened here in Florida. It was 26 degrees for a couple days in a row.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
I'm in
it. Being prepared.
Jacksonville today, right? And they're talking this morning. I heard on the news. This is the 23rd day that was below freezing this year in
Wow.
Jacksonville. That's
Wow.
a lot of freezing. I mean, that's a lot for
Yeah.
Florida.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel bad for all the plants and the vegetation that didn't make it, but
I know.
again, we learned. So after about the 10th time that I had to bring everything in, I started to get less choosy and I really decided what I was going to let go because that's just how it's going to be. We're just going to need to adapt. I do love my plants though.
I do
So
too.
yeah. So again, just paying attention to those things and again, not being in fear and not being reactive, but maybe being proactive with a lot of these things and just trusting,
your guides, that knowing that you'll be where you need to be. I think that's a great idea. And then going with, like you said, your imagination, the manifestation. Vision boards are never, a thing of the past.
Always a good thing.
Yeah. However, want to be able to visualize what it is that you're creating. That's a beautiful thing. And then finding your community, or what you need to be able to help with, your spiritual path. And it might be books, it might be podcasts, it might be, actual meetings with people. Or you said you had a group online. Is that right?
I do. I have what's called Heartbeat. And so that is a group that once a week we actually get together. And so it's either a live channeling, or else it's a message circle or meditation, that type of thing. I'm also hosting a number of different class series. I have all kinds of different educational training that I do. And so I love that. And one that I'm actually just starting is the Temple of Light. And this is fabulous. It's only 3 weeks, but it really helps people to be able to vision and to be able to access. And that includes their Akashic records. That includes meeting all their guides and masters. It gives you the tools. I'm not teaching you something that you don't have access to, but I'm showing you where it is for you to be able to practice with it too.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And so that's on Tuesday evenings at 6 p.m. So that's a fabulous quick series. But this is, and again, it's about the travel groups, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I've got these fabulous trips, and it's like, yes, I go to Peru, and this last year I went to Mount Shasta, and I've got people who are going with me to Mount Shasta, to Peru. They're going with me to Greece. They're going with me, to all these different trips, because we are being called as those energies to specifically to these ancient lands, because we will be the keys. We leave things behind. We have to unlock them. We have to connect with them again. When you feel called to go to lands, you really do need to go to the land. I mean, you can psychically go there, but it's just not the same as actually physically connecting. And when you go with people, like the Shasta trip this summer, we were doing ceremony up on the top of Mount Shasta, and they took pictures of me doing the drumming, and we actually got pictures of Lemurians behind me.
I wish I had thought to have you send me a copy of it so we could share that. I've seen that photo. It is amazing.
It really is. It is me holding the drum, and there was another lady beside me, and all around me, behind me, there were these massive Lemurians. You could see part of me perfectly clear, and the rest of it was orbally, and that's what sometimes people
a giant
see.
light being. Yeah,
giant light being, or you could see the light around it very specifically. You know what I'll do, Mary Ellen? I'll email that to you, and then you can maybe add it into something with this.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's what this is about. They actually show up specifically because they were so excited that we were there doing the work that they wanted us to.
What a gift.
Yeah, we were burying the despacho, just celebrating and giving love to all of them. So of course they all came to say, thank you, we're here too.
That's great. I've often said, sometimes we get so many specific signs from spirit. And I say, short of a full-bodied apparition, what is it that you're waiting for? But you literally, in that photo, you knew they were there.
Yeah.
That was proof positive. That was just amazing. And so do you think that it was specific to the land, or do you think that there are people that are working with you in general?
Well, that's a really good question. And I'm going to say it's both, because when we were walking by, we could tell, several of us could even feel the energy of the native tribes that would actually gather there at Mount Shasta. So there were some natives that were there as well, and we knew that. But obviously I've been working with Lemurians for quite a long time, and Jamar is my head elder Lemurian that I've worked with. But he was funny this year at this trip. He told me that he was really stepping back, and he's been working with me for almost 10 years. but he was like, no, it's time for the next one to come in. And then the Galactic Council really stepped in more closely. But it
Wow.
was funny because I was doing this other podcast thing where then it was with the Palladians. And I was like, okay, guys, they want the Palladians and the Arcturians. Who's coming? And then Jamar comes in. He's like, well, you do realize that the Lemurians come from Pallades, right? And he's like, of course you have that covered. I sit on the council. I'm like, oh, okay, I got it then. The things we don't know.
Let me ask you a question, if I may. So this is my question to Spirit. I'm taking a trip to Sedona in about 3 weeks. And I'm wondering if Spirit has any messages for me, or if there's anything that would be interesting for me to know relative to my trip out there.
The first thing that they're saying is make sure that you go and spend some time at Bell Rock. Okay. I don't know if you were planning on that or not, but Bell Rock is actually, like a huge generator crystal is what it is. And so when you spend some time there, you're really going to be able to get different downloads of information, and they're being very clear that you need to be able to be writing things out, because this is going to be different. You're going to start doing different retreats in different locations. Sorry, Mary Ellen, there you go.
No, it's already in the works. Yes.
Yeah, I was going to say that's just part of what's going to be happening. Yeah, I love it, and so you'll be picking some key locations of where that is, and you'll also be bringing in different presenters from around the world who are really going to be able to help support that process with different focuses. They're being very clear about that. Sometimes it is going to be the ET world, but some of it is going to be more spiritual development, and some of it. So again, they're going to have different genres very specifically, depending on where you're going within that process as well. But yes, this is going to be an absolutely fabulous trip, and you're going to, and also if you have time, please make sure to go up to the Hopi Reservation just to feel the energy and to connect with the people there. They are beautiful, beautiful people. And they see you and they actually take an imprint of your soul.
Wow.
So I had gone one weekend, and then it was 10 years later, I went back, and the gentleman saw me and recognized me. And I'd only been there for 2 days. And he's like, I know you. You were there before. And I recognized they would take that energetic imprint. So that's how they know everything and remember things.
That's amazing. I can't wait. We're going to Bradshaw Ranch too.
Oh, fabulous. Cool. Awesome.
On that note, we've got about a minute and a half left. So please remind everyone where to find you, where they can find more information, get a reading from you.
Fabulous. So please come and visit me at judyweaver.com or heart4souls.com. Again, I teach all kinds of different classes, instructions. I call it multidimensional training because most of it is, trance-channeled information with the guidance. I also am available for private sessions, and I do work with individuals who really want to take themselves to that next level. And that's what I love, along with the different trips. And the trips are fabulous because it really is taking you to that next level.
Okay. And Judy's with an I, but if you go to our page on the Transformation Network, you'll see all of the links to all of her shows. And then Spirit Fest. Judy's going to be at most of the Spirit Fest this year throughout Florida, not the ones out of state, just the ones in Florida. But the whole list and all the information about Spirit Fest is at spiritfestusa.com. So Judy, thank you so much. This time flew by. It feels like it's been 10 minutes. So thank you very much. I would love to do this again sometime. This was so fun.
Yeah.
And thank you everyone for tuning in, for listening, and we hope to see you another time. Good night, everybody. For spending this time with me here on the Sanctuary Network. Tune in every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern on the Transformation Network as we gather to share stories, wisdom, and practices that remind us of something essential. Sanctuary isn't just a place you go, it's a space you create in your heart, your home, and your daily life.
I hope today's conversation sparked something in you, a sense of belonging, a new idea, or simply a reminder that you are not alone on this journey. If this touched you, please share it with someone who could use a little light. Together we can grow this circle of sanctuary and inspire a ripple of healing around the world. And don't forget, the journey continues at spiritfestusa.com, thesanctuarynetwork.com, and naturalwellnessexpo.com. And of course, every week right here on Transformation Network. Until next time, may you be well, may you be inspired, and may you live fully in sanctuary.